Madame Marshall?
This island is too small. There is nowhere to hide.
If you wish it, I will withdraw.
No, never mind. The famous detective, I believe.
I am at your service, madame.
Are you indeed? That's uncommonly good of you. I understand Kenneth told you about the notes I've received.
I think you should take these notes seriously, madame.
You may be right.
You have had that change of heart, then?
You could say that.
In order to help, I must ask of you some questions.
Impertinent questions, I should think.
Necessary questions.
Very well, then.
Was it Mr. Marshall who made you decide to speak with me?
Kenneth? No, of course not.
What was it, then?
I've received another threat. Here it is. The day of your punishment is at hand. It sounds rather like things are coming to a head, doesn't it?
I would say so, yes. Do you know of anyone who might wish you harm?
I'm rich, beautiful, and famous. There's a certain delight in those who are not rich or beautiful or famous when someone like me makes a misstep or suffers some tragedy. The newspapers and film magazines thrive on stories of the high and mighty brought low.
All that you say may be true. Yet these notes do not sound as if they were written from jealousy. The underlying emotion feels to me different.
Hatred?
Exact.
It's no secret I get on with men, Monsieur Poirot. I like men. Men like me. Not so the women. If I were to suspect anyone, it would be a woman who believed I had wronged her in some way.
A name would be helpful.
Possibly. But that is all I'm going to say.
Has anyone here on the island aroused your suspicions?
No, not a soul.
This surprises me. I thought actors were keen observers of the human nature.
Do not confuse lack of observation with lack of interest, Monsieur Poirot.
Is there nothing you can tell me that would assist me in helping you?
Tell me this. Are you certain the notes mean my life is in danger?
No, madame, I am not.
Oh, come now, Poirot. Isn't it obvious?
No, Hastings. Nothing is obvious.
I agree with you. Good day.
Yes? Mr. Poirot, you fixed my goggles. That's part of the strap from a suitcase, isn't it? How clever. Let's see what has been snagged on the swimming float. Beastly hot. I'll enjoy the dip.
Redfern's fixed his goggles, has he?
Yes.
Here you are, Mr. Poirot. It's a life ring, boy. I can't see it getting torn about that way by simply catching on the swimming board.
Torn? Rubbish. Poirot, those look like bullet holes.
So, you got your goggles repaired, Redfern?
Yes, Major. Mr. Poirot ingeniously cut up a luggage strap to replace the broken one.
Luggage strap? Why, so it is. In fact, if I didn't know better...
Thank you for the assistance, Monsieur Redfern. Good day, gentlemen. I will not do that. You continue to impress me, Hastings.
From the looks of this tunnel, no one's been down here in a long time. The dust on the floor is undisturbed.
A Roman column dating to the 1st century. A Roman Roman to be sure. Just think of the history these stones have seen, Hastings.
By Jove, a gold coin in top condition.
No, my friend Hastings. I could blunder about in these tunnels for hours while who knows what crimes are committed in my absence. I need some means to ensure I am traveling in the proper direction. May know, my friend Hastings.
Mr. Poirot, did you find something Oakley would like as an anniversary present?
I believe I have, madame. This gold coin should interest him, don't you think?
Oh, this is perfect. Wherever did you find it?
That must remain my secret for now.
Here is your shawl, Mr. Poirot, and thank you.
Try again, Poirot. It's easy.
Do I look like the fisherman to you, Hastings?
You've done it!
Only a first step, mademoiselle. Take the bird to my bath and wait for me there.
Come along, you poor little thing.
Quite securely locked, I am afraid.
Hello? Need the sea tractor, do you?
Yes, please?
On me way. There's not so much to do in Leathercombe Bay now that the evacuation's begun. Most places are closed up except the chemists. Mrs. Hughes has to stay because she's the post office too. And lending library if it comes to that. But it's the post that must be seen too. Now that the Smuggler's End is closed, the only pub is the Monk's Hood. Mr. Bagby is trying to stay open long as he can. Once the hotel is closed, there won't be much trade for him.
Not much can be done with that old skiff. The thing, it is falling to pieces. Useful fellow. Repairs both motor cars and boats.
Ready to head back to the island, Mr. Poirot?
Not quite yet.
I know we haven't been properly introduced, but I'm Will Jenks, and I've heard you're a famous detective.
I am the detective, it is true. But famous? No. That is something of an exaggeration.
Steady on, old boy.
Ah, Hastings, you caution me against braggadocio, so I display modesty, and still you find fault.
It's my young lady, Gladys. Maybe you've seen her at the Smuggler's Rest?
Bien, you are a lucky young man.
I do know that, Mr. Poirot. Not many girls in these parts can hold a candle to my Gladys. But lately she's been very distant to me.
She is of the opinion that you are seeing someone else.
But that's nonsense.
Someone she called only the slip of a girl?
But who... She means that Marshall girl what arrived a few days ago. She's been following me about ever since I first took him across on the sea tractor.
Have you encouraged Madame Marshall?
I should hope not. But she's just a kid. She'd be in school if she wasn't tossed out of that posh girls' school of hers.
In some ways, yes. Perhaps she is, as you say, still the kid. In others, who can tell? Where has she followed you?
She'll call for the sea tractor. I'll bring her across. Then she'll want to go right back to the island again. Then she's always hanging about the garage here. I think she may be a thief too.
What makes you say that?
Well, my shovel's gone missing, hasn't it? And I first noticed it were gone right after one of her visits here. You believe me, don't you, Mr. Poirot?
Yes, but it is not important that I believe you. It is Gladys who must believe.
I'll wring that Linda Marshall's neck for her.
I will have the talk with Mademoiselle Marshall. In the meantime, there will be no wringing of the necks. Promise me.
I promise. Hands off me tools. Hands off me...
The village is practically abandoned.
Yes? Did I keep you waiting? I'm afraid I'm not myself today. I'm ever so distracted trying to solve this mystery.
A mystery? Sounds promising.
What is the nature of your mystery, madame?
Several letters have gone missing over the past few days. I can't understand it. I'm terribly conscientious with the post, I promise you. Someone must be stealing them.
Were the letters valuable?
No. They were important to my customers who were expecting them, perhaps, but none contained money or anything like that. Still, my customers are complaining, and I'm at a loss to explain it. May I help you, sir?
No, merci.
You can borrow that if you like. I'm sorry, sir. You mustn't touch that. I use the test tubes to test for chemicals, and to make up the various solutions and powders I dispense by prescription, and the microscope to look for impurities.
It is a shame not to have access to the equipment, Hastings. It would be handy to be able to test various substances you come across in your investigation.
You can just take that. No charge. May I help you, sir?
Do you have any books on the caring for the wild birds?
I know we have a book on local birds somewhere. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Birding on Devon's Shores by Major Marcus Touchberry. And yes, here's a chapter describing some treatments for various afflictions. Oh dear.
What is it?
Most of the time the author says to just shoot them. There's another chapter of recipes.
How much is the book, please?
50 pence for the week. Thank you for your business, sir.
I am returning a book for Mrs. Castle.
Oh, Love's Captive by Mrs. Arabella Richardson. I've read that one. It's a classic.
How anyone can call that rot a classic is beyond me.
I agree, Hastings, but we should not judge.
You're right, of course, old man. Not everyone can appreciate true classics like Rough Shooting or By Motor Across Asia.
Do you have any books suitable as an anniversary present for a wife?
To purchase, you mean, sir? Not many. Let me see. Tell me about your wife, sir. Are you interested in spicing up your relationship a tittle?
No. No spice is needed.
Lady Chatterley's lover is right out, then. What else? Is she fond of murder, sir?
I should hope not.
Too bad. Murder's very popular.
Lucky for you, Poirot. Shouldn't like to see you out of a job.
Keep searching, if you please.
I don't suppose she knits.
But of course she knits. Very much she knits.
Here's a brand new book we just got in. Easy French Knitting Patterns by Eugenie Blottieri. 1 and 6, please.
Huh? £1.06?
Colour illustrations cost a bit more.
I need more money, Hastings.
Wire your bank.
Madame, I find myself short of the required funds. I need to wire my bank.
Of course, sir. Just step over to the post office, if you please. Thank you, sir. I'll send it off directly.
Madame, what is the name of this creature?
That's my Chloe. Isn't she a cutiekins?
Delightful. Are there any telegrams for me?
I'll just check. Sorry, sir. Nothing at the moment.
I say, there's an envelope stuck down there behind the cabinet.
I see it, Hastings. I also see the cat.
A life ring, boy. Very handy if the pub should start to sink. Look at the size of that brute.
Like to try your hand at a game of darts?
No merci.
Maybe later then.
Perhaps. Does that formidable dog belong to you?
Yes, that's Baskerville. I've had him since he was a small... well, he was never that small.
Not many customers today.
What could you expect? Most of the town has been evacuated. And very few tourists turn up these days.
You enjoy the playing of the darts?
Darts is my game, right enough. It's been a tradition in these parts for centuries. Did you know the famous smuggler Tom Cutter was an expert dartsman?
No, I did not.
Struth. He played at the Smuggler's End almost every night when he wasn't out at sea. A masterful player was old Tom. They say he scored more ton 80s than anyone before or since.
Ton 80s, Hastings.
The highest possible score in a single throw, Poirot. 3 darts, all inside the inner narrow ring of the 20 wedge.
I trust Baskerville is the excellent watchdog?
Oh, hey. We have never had any trouble in here since Baskerville's come of age. Can't trade him to do anything, of course. But with Baskerville, growling works a treat.
Has Baskerville ever bitten anyone?
Well, doesn't need to, does he? All he has to do is growl.
Have you ever seen Tom Cutter's ghost?
No, but I've heard of them that has. If I was lucky enough to meet up with a ghost, I'd challenge him to a game of darts.
And how did he die?
He was hanged by the excise men from the Smuggler's End sign. It's said he walks again every year on the anniversary of his death.
And on what day did he die?
August 24th, that's right. Tonight is the anniversary of Tom Cutter's murder.
Monsieur Cutter lived at the Smuggler's End?
Hey, it was the only lodging on the island until the hotel was built a few years ago.
Do you know anything of Tom Cutter's treasure?
A lot of folk have looked high and low for the treasure, but no one's found so much as a farthing in all these years.
Thank you for the conversation, my friend.
Stop in any time. Maybe we can have a darts match.
Bonjour, Colonel Weston.
Poirot, my old friend, what brings you to Leathercombe Bay?
A short trip to the seaside to replenish their little grey cells.
You stopping at the Smuggler's Rest? Damn shame, old man. I expect to get orders to close up the hotel any day now. This is one of the last coastal areas to be evacuated.
You're in charge of the Home Guard?
Yes, I've set up camp in the Leathercombe Bay police station now that their constables left for Modbury to help there.
Dangerous times, Colonel.
Indeed. I have spotters up and down the stretch of coastline. We've had several sightings of U-boats quite close to shore this month alone.
Mon Dieu! When?
Let's see. August 5th, the 13th, the 16th, and again just last night, the 23rd.
Poirot, those dates don't match at all with Mrs. Castle's calendar.
It is true what you say, Hastings. Have you noticed any suspicious characters about?
Any stranger is suspicious these days. Did you have someone specifically in mind?
I came upon a man who called himself North. He seemed to be trying to gain entry to the Smuggler's End pub.
I have the only key. If he's that thirsty, he'll have to come over here to the mainland or break in. I'll keep a lookout for him. If you could get me a picture, I could send it off to Scotland Yard and see if they can come up with anything.
May I borrow the key to the Smuggler's End? I would like to see if I can discover what interests him.
Be my guest. Regular law enforcement stretched pretty thin these days.
Is that your stethoscope?
Belongs to Dr. Neasden, a local coroner. He left it here last night. I was going to return it to him.
Say, that would work a treat if we wanted to listen at doors.
May I borrow it?
Practicing medicine without a license, Poirot.
It may be useful. One never knows.
You're welcome to it. I'm sure Neasden has others.
Do you have the file of the Millie Parsons murder case?
Yes, at my office in Kingsbridge. A bad business. I'll have it sent over this afternoon.
Many thanks, Colonel.
All right, Poirot. We've known each other a good many years. You need a stethoscope and the key to the pub? You'll forgive my saying so, but this sounds like a busman's holiday to me. If you are onto something, don't you think you'd better share?
My friend, I have only the suspicions. But yes, I think there may be some cloud hanging over Seadrift Island. A number of items have gone missing. There is tension in the air. It was never my intention to take on a case here. But now, my visit may have become what you say, the busman's holiday.
Well, let me know if you uncover any serious evidence of a crime. I'll be here in Leathercombe Bay tomorrow if you need me.
Many thanks, my friend.
I'm off now, over to Kingsbridge for a district guard meeting.
Farewell.
A regulation dartboard. A regulation...
Fancy a short game, sir? 3 throws each?
I will try my luck.
Oh, I pegged you for a sporting gentleman the moment you first walked in here. We each start with 301 points. I don't have time for a complete game, I'm afraid. Whoever hits the highest score subtracts that from 301. We'll declare him the winner. Go on, you go first.
Not a very stellar performance, I'm afraid.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Hello, a new face. Join me, sir. Blatt's the name. Horace Blatt.
Hercule Poirot.
Hairdresser, are ya?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I dunno. Something about your manner.
I am not a dresser of hairs. I am a detective.
A detective?
Oui, it is true. I arrived only last night. You are the avid sailor, Monsieur Blatt.
Used to sail quite a bit as a boy. Not this part of the world. Off the east coast. I could have a first-rate yacht if I liked, but somehow I don't really fancy it. Much rather muck about in that little yawl of mine.
You would rather do the sailing yourself, perhaps? Rather than a crew?
Got it in one, Monsieur Poirot. I like being in control, I suppose. Feeling the boat respond as I put her through her courses. Same with business too, come to think of it. Made me what I am today. You've heard of Blatt's Hardware, I'm sure.
I may have.
Biggest concern of its kind in London.
It is not often one sees this sailboat with a red sail.
Oh, I like a bit of change. No harm in it, I suppose.
None at all. What brings you to Seadrift Island?
Don't really know why I came here. I suppose it sounded romantic. Smuggler's Rest. Makes you think of when you were a boy. Pirates, smuggling, all that.
What do you think of our fellow guests?
Mostly a dried up lot of sticks if you ask me. That Mrs. Marshall, she's the only lively one in the place. I should think Marshall's got his hands full with her. Oh, Redfern's all right too, I guess. He's been out once or twice with me in my yawl. Can't get hold of him now, always hanging about Mrs. Marshall. Afraid I have to run over to Kingsbridge.
You will sail no more this afternoon?
I think not. Saw a bank of fog sitting off the coast when I was out before. Expect it'll roll in before evening. Wouldn't want to get caught in it along this coast. Good day to you, Monsieur Poirot.
Now, why should the fact that you're a detective get his wind up? Poirot!
Hairdresser?
Like a ride to the island?
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. tractor is a rare contraption, isn't it? When the Smuggler's Rest was first built, they used to ferry folks over by boat. But the current across the causeway here can be powerful at times. When they updated the hotel in 1932, I think it was, they had the tractor built. High tide, low tide, strong current or no, the tractor, she just plows along, keeping us high and dry. It's a miracle of modern engineering, I calls it.
What are you thinking, Hastings? What are...
Please leave me alone for the moment.
This is a useful point to measure the time it takes to reach Cutter's Cove, the spot that will be the scene of the murder. Now we have heard all we... Précisément, we progress.
Monsieur Poirot, we need to clean the glowing moors quickly. I don't think it will last much longer.
Now rub the mineral oil onto the bird with this brush. This will make the motor oil easier to remove.
I scrubbed the poor thing with mineral oil. I suppose we're fighting oil with oil.
Eh bien, now I must apply the detergent to the brush. Précisément, we progress.
Now rub the detergent onto the bird with this brush to remove the oils.
We progress. Now we must rinse the bird. I will turn on the taps. We are almost finished, mademoiselle. Dry the bird with these towels.
Splendid work, Mademoiselle Musher.
I confess I didn't think we could pull it off, Poirot. Well done all round.
Now, mademoiselle, all that remains is to return our feathered friend to Sanctuary Cove.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Poirot. You are such a dear.
You're blushing, old fellow.
Nonsense.
Gladys won't be happy when she sees this.
The door. Magnifique.
That dartboard looks centuries old. I say, Poirot, see the carved letters? 2 N's and an E.
What have we here, Hastings?
That dartboard looks centuries old.
Yes, please?
On me way. I've been looking after the hotel garage and driving the sea tractor for almost 5 years now. Motor cars are my passion. I keep the guests' motors clean and full of petrol. I also tend to any repairs they might need as well. Just look at that Major Barry's motor now. A 1938 Triumph Dolomite. It's a beautiful piece of British style and manufacturing. I can't think but what the war effort will take all the great designers to work on tanks and whatnot.
Mr. Poirot!
She has enough candles in there to light up a church.
I beg your pardon, mademoiselle?
I'm so clumsy.
Mademoiselle, may I speak to you?
Of course.
Gladys is very upset with Will.
What has it got to do with me?
She believes that you are trying to come between them.
Oh, I didn't mean... I didn't know. I have no reason to hurt either one of them. I was just... Garage was a place to get away from the island.
Would you tell that to Gladys? I believe it would ease her mind.
Of course, of course. Thank you for telling me.
Are there any telegrams for me?
I'll just check. Of course, sir.
We have no need to send a
May I help you, sir?
Do you have any books suitable as an anniversary present for a wife?
Here's a brand new book we just got in. Easy French Knitting Patterns by Eugenie Blottieri. 1 and 6, please.
Thank you, madame.
Let's see. That will be 5 pence, if you please, sir. Thank you for your business, sir.
Like a ride to the island?
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. There's lots of talk of Tom Cutter's treasure. It's said to still be buried on the island somewhere. Jewels and gold and all the usual in a chest. When I was younger, my mates and I would search for it. We were convinced it was up on that hill on the western side of the island. The way the story goes, Tom Cutter would spend hours up there just looking out over the sea. We never found so much as a singular coin, though.
Monsieur Gardner, do you think your wife would like this book?
Easy French knitting patterns. Poirot, you're a genius. I'm afraid I need some time to myself.
What are you thinking? What are you Well, this is neither the time nor the... From the tennis court to Cutter's Cove, it is 20 minutes. No, we have heard... From the hotel to Cutter's Cove, it is 25 minutes. Well, this is neither the time nor the... Well, this is neither... Well, this is... Well, this is... Well, this is neither the time... From the monastery ruins to Cutter's Cove, it is 12 minutes. From Sanctuary Cove to Cutter's Cove, it is 15 minutes. Well, this is neither the time nor the place. From the bathing beach to Cutter's Cove via the path, it is 18 minutes. Well, this is Well, this is me. Poirot will not be waiting in this. Poirot will not be. Well, this is.
Hello?
Yes, please.
On me way. If you're looking for entertainment during your stay, there's not much in Leathercombe Bay or at the hotel these days. My Gladys and I usually go into Kingsbridge to the moving pictures, and there's some dancing at the hotel there still. Although, when I asked Gladys for this weekend, she refused and gave no reason, no matter how much I asked. She just said I should know. I don't understand women. I truly don't.
Well, this is me. Well, this is.
Like a ride to...
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. The Home Guard isn't all old gents doddering around in their great war kit. There's quite a few lads like me who are itching to get into it, but weren't allowed to enlist. We train. We know how to fight.